Hacksaw getting dressed. Hacksaw.
Okay, this is
Hacksaw exposed.
Okay, this is the legend, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's been around. How many years have you been wrestling for?
4 years.
Yeah. And you've been in all the promotions. How do you compare WWF to WCW? She worked in there when Bischoff.
Money must work.
Yeah. Okay, so you won the very first Royal Rumble. Yeah. And what was that like, the very first year? What was the very first Royal Rumble like that you won? That was like
Another day at the office with WWF. You were working so often, you know, we just did the Royal Rumble. The next day we were in Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Just another show.
So it's nice that you're bringing back this USA gimmick now that we're in a time of war.
Well, I've been doing it for 20 plus years, brother,
Yeah.
so that's just part of my character.
What about when you turned into the Canadian Hacksaw in WCW? What did you think of that when you,
Well,
when you
I
did
think
it?
they developed the character, the USA character, as far as they should, but it was good to be involved in something.
Yeah. That was nice. So what was your greatest memories in wrestling?
Andre the Giant, main event, Madison Square Garden, sellout crowd.
Oh yeah. So was that just like a house show then, or like a?
No, it was just the garden show.
The garden show. Those aren't even.
The garden show was never just a house show.
No, those are not. But it's like a non-televised show.
Right.
Yeah. So who are your favorite workers out there today in wrestling?
Today in wrestling?
Yeah.
Who are my favorite workers today in wrestling? I don't really watch too much wrestling anymore. Disco's one of the good young talents, I think, coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of young guys, but none that I really can think of. A lot of good young talent. The business has changed a lot. You know, you don't see as many big brawlers as you do flyers.
Yeah, that's changed a lot.
Hugh Morris is a good hand. And a couple of young guys, like that Shark Boy, one of the young kids that hasn't got a break yet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just recently I was watching the Game Show Network. I seen you on there like doing the Family Feud. What was that like?
The Family Feud, it was Beauties versus the Beast. I guess we against the Playboy Playmates.
Yeah. I
beat those pretty girls' butt.
Yeah, I work with a mentally retarded little boy. He loves game shows. I just happened to see it. In fact, just recently I was watching one. It was like from the Hollywood Squares from 1968. It had Nick Bockwinkel on there. Did you ever get to work with Nick Bockwinkel?
Yeah, I worked with Nick many times over the years.
Oh,
yeah, sure did.
Yeah. So I just seen you on the NWA TNA recently. Are you going to be wrestling there for quite a while?
I have to ask Jared that one.
Oh yeah. So what did you think when Disco said there's nobody coming around, nobody walks around with like carrying 2x4s around and stuff? Was that like just always part of the gimmick to go for you to enter there?
Well, you know what? You know, back when I first started, everybody had feathered boas and sequin robes. So I sort of be kind of a working man's deal. So nothing fancy Dan about Hacksaw Duggan. Just carry a 2x4 and the flag of the United States of America.
Yeah. So did you pretty much start just carrying the flag around on the 2x4s? Just
I started back at the old Mid-South UWF days when I left the Rat Pack, which was with DiBiase and Matt Bourne, and I went against Skandar Akbar, and I think it was Kamala one-man gang, and I started carrying the flag back in probably 84.
Yes, most people can't last that long in gimmicks, because other than that one Canadian gimmick, in which it wasn't necessarily different, because you were just supporting Canada at the time, so you're always
actually, right after that, the company went broke, so it goes to show you what kind of decisions they were making.
Yeah, they were making some very poor decisions.
But, yeah, I didn't enjoy doing the Canadian. It's not like we got a lot of heat with Canada anyway, you know, with the shave my beard, cut my hair.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're under contract, then anything like that would be a breach of contract.
Yeah.
You have to pay back the money you made for the past
Was that when Vince Russo was running the show? Or?
Yeah, I think it was Vince. I don't know if Bischoff had a part of that or not. And, you know, it was tough because they had Lance Storm standing out there, and Lance would do his deal where I have everyone's attention. Of course, I would just be Hacksaw behind him, and they'd pull me in the dressing room and say, Hacksaw, you're taking away from Lance. And I'm like, oh, you know, I take away from Lance, that's not my fault, that's Lance's fault. If he can't carry the load, same deal, they usually build young guys. Guys like Alex Lytle, 1, 2, 3 in the middle, or Craig Pittman, 1, 2, 3 at a pay-per-view. They get their hand raised and leave, I'd get up, I'd give them a big thumbs up, I'd have the whole crowd do my saying. I can tell Russo and Bischoff, I say, you can't kill me off. Beat me every night, you won't kill me off, because the people like the characters.
Oh, yeah. So they fired you. Like you actually overcame cancer, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. And you actually made a nice comeback from that. Because most people like to destroy them completely.
I was blessed. Thank the Lord. It'll be 5 years this September. I had kidney cancer. Just with the grace of God, I was able to survive and really blessed to be able to come back to life.
So what have been your worst injuries suffered in the ring then?
The most debilitating injury was an Achilles tendon injury. It put me out for a long time. And my worst injury is I had a head injury back when I worked with One Man Gang in Houston, Texas. And back then they had the bolts that hold the rings in sticking out of the post, and I ran my head into the post. So it was a very severe head injury.
So what was it like working for Vince McMahon?
Vince is great. I mean, you know, he's a promoter. Guys think Vince is an asshole or a vicious creature. That's the nature of the beast. If you're going to be a successful promoter, you got to not care about people. I mean, some boys can go up there and say, well, they treated me like a piece of meat. Well, welcome to reality, brother. You know, if you want a friend, buy a pet. You know, Vince will eat you up and chew you up. And if you want to make your name and make your money, you go up to Vince, you put your time in.
So did you see all of Legends that Vince is bringing back? He's brought back Piper now and stuff. Is there any chance that he maybe bring back Hacksaw?
Never know, brother. I haven't heard nothing from Vince, but to go back to work full time would be very hard for me at this point.
Would it be nice to like maybe they bring you back for just like a WrestleMania or something, WrestleMania 20 or something?
Sure, always open for stuff, but I don't really think I fit into Vince's program anymore. You know, his is a more adult show with all the obscene gestures and profanity, and I'm a more family-oriented type wrestler. So who knows? I'm not waiting by the phone.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Hacksaw.
You're welcome.
You're truly a wrestling legend.
All right, brother.